Good evening and welcome to East Bridgewater's Board of Health meeting, Monday, August 7th, 2023. We did have one appointment. I don't see the individual here yet, so we'll move that along. If they do appear, we'll get them in. We have no hearings tonight, so we'll get right into the action items. First is an invoice from Brown and Caldwell. And this is for the professional services for the landfill monitoring up on Bridge Street. It's for $17,700. And do I have a motion?
Motion to pay?
Okay, motion Andrew. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second Thomas. Any discussions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so that passes. Our next invoice is for Visual Edge IT, the amount of $108. This is for our share of the copier cartridges for upstairs. I'll make a motion that we pay as presented. Do we have a second? Second, Andrew. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes. And then our last invoice is for a betterment loan, and this is for the work that was done and completed at 782 Washington Street, and it's for $16,000. Excuse me. I'll entertain a motion to pay it as presented.
Make a motion to pay it.
Okay, motion Andrew. Do we have a second?
I will second.
All right. Second Tom. Any further discussions? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
It passes. Okay, then we have our minutes from our July 17th meeting. Okay. I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, second Andrew. Motion Lyons, second Andrew. Any discussions? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes. Okay, disposal system and construction permits. Let's see here. Okay, Jean Marie, on 36 Village Road.
36 Village Road originally was approved by the board last spring. They came in with totally different variances, so it's not the same plan.
Okay,
So that's why you're looking at it again. If it looks familiar, it's not exactly the same.
risk reduction of groundwater. Okay, so these are the changes?
This is a new plan by a new
Okay.
engineer, so these are the variances they're requesting now.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, so we have local upgrades. We have 415 Elm Street, 10 Stone Meadow Drive, 36 Village Road, and 248 Pleasant Street. I'm going to make a motion that we accept these as presented. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, second Andrew. Motion Lyons, second Andrew. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. So these pass. Okay, so we have 3 new construction. The first one listed on the agenda, we're gonna, handle separately, but we have 11 Daisy Lane and 13 Daisy Lane. These are brand-new construction. So for 11 Daisy Lane and 13 Daisy Lane, I'll entertain a motion that we accept these as presented.
I will make a motion.
Okay, motion Tom. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, second Andrew. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So 254 Whitman Street. We had talked to Matt, and I think his engineering company, the engineering firm that was handling the design of the septic system, probably about a month ago, right around there. So they presented us with a plan for a 100-person capacity event. I shouldn't say the event, but the system is designed for 100 folks. Now, you came to us with asking about, well, what do we do for exceptions? Like if you run over 100, which is quite feasible. So this, at this point in time, it's you know, a board discussion is that one thing that not only is Mistletoe Tree Farm, but we have other event venues in town that are either gonna be coming online or are in a similar situation where they can run over their capacity for an event. So what we're looking to do, and we're not gonna vote on this tonight, but we'll put it out there, Jean Marie supplied some information, is that for events that you're looking to run that could go over, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in a process in an additional application for when you're anticipating going over that 100 event. And that application would just be, I shouldn't say just be, but it'll have some basic information, number of guests, number of hours. There'll be some other criteria that we'll put in there. And what that will do is that'll allow us to make sure that the calculation is correct for the amount of temporary facilities that you're bringing in. So it's just kind of it keeps everybody honest.
Keeps us honest as far as the temporary facilities or as far as?
Yes, exactly, yeah. So when anybody, whether it be you or if, you know, if somebody else creates another event like this or event venue like this, where their normal capacity is 100 or less, or whatever their system's designed for, then they have a function that goes beyond what their capacity is. So they would be asked to fill, you know, just a quick application with some information so that our health agent can take a look at it and say, yep, what you're bringing in is going to be able to handle safely what is required of your guests. So it's the other thing that we don't want to do is have somebody, and I'm not saying this is your case, but just we want to make sure that everybody's playing by the same set of rules.
Sure.
So that somebody's not just constantly having an event that's above their capacity because they just bring in temporary because they don't want to address their system appropriately.
Yep.
So, and this is just, like I said, like you've pointed out, it keeps everybody honest, but more importantly, everybody playing by the same set of rules.
Yep.
Okay, so, with all that being said, in our packet, we have some information from Jean Marie, so that's our homework for the next 2 weeks. So take a look at that, and then we'll have further discussion on putting in a hard policy in place, and we'll have that long up before you guys are ready to have your first 200-person event, so.
So one thing that I just want to bring up, right? So there are places that don't even have the ability to have a septic system, but they hire these trailers when they have these random events on a weekend or something, right? And the pump truck comes and removes it out of town. So, I mean, I get everybody on the same page, 100%. But to limit the amount, I'm gonna have a problem. You see what I'm saying? If you were to say, I can't have more than 5 events over that, I got a problem with it.
Well, how many systems, I mean, how many events do you think you'd have that's gonna be over 100?
Whoever comes along my way, you know what I mean? I got a period of time
Yep.
that I'm not selling Christmas trees, from November to December, okay? I can't make the farm work from November to December.
Sure, I understand.
Strictly on Christmas trees. So
Right.
I built this big facility so that I can have other things happen there, whether it be a 30-person,
Farm to table?
not even farm to table, like a birthday party when we teach the kids how to plant Christmas
Mm-hmm.
trees. Something along the lines, educate, my wife's a teacher. Something along the line of education.
Sure.
Something along the lines with farming, implementing, okay? But along the way, we also have people, they get their family photos on my farm. They have, engagement photos on my farm. They get engaged at my farm when they come and get a Christmas tree, and we set up a whole area where they just go off on their own and they get married. So it's a family-oriented thing. So not only that, now we're gonna say, all right, you can get married at our farm. And they come to me and say, all right, 100-person, great, well, we have the facilities for that. 150 people, okay, we just gotta get a trailer. But if I have 10 of them, and you guys put a limitation at 2, I'm out of business, so I might as well make it a big development. You see what I'm saying?
I hear you. Now, we're looking at, so we ran some numbers, and we looked at what would be fair, what would be, so you've got 52 weekends in a year. So we looked at about 25%. If you ran over 25% of the time, that puts you 13, 14, 15 events over the 100.
Oh,
And that's what we're looking
that's
to, you know, again, because if we don't have something, then somebody could just be running, to your point, you know, an event every weekend and not do, or not perform, or have a system installed that's designed to do what it's supposed to do.
right.
So we don't want that to happen either. We want to make sure that you're successful and are able to run the events that you want to run.
That's-
So we're looking at, you know, again, 10, 12, 15, maybe the number is 15. You know, if you're running that far over, then your system's not designed the way it should have been. And we
You
did talk
also-
about this.
You also don't want the nitrates on the property, so it's actually beneficial to have those facilities and pump it and get it out.
It is, but again, that we have to, you know, there are certain guidelines that we have to adhere to as well.
Right.
So, at the same time, we want to make sure that everybody is playing by the same set of rules. That way there, you know, if we have to go have a chat with somebody else around the corner, well,
Right.
you know, so that way there, it's even keel. So, do you guys have any questions?
No, sir.
It's not a question, it's just a comment.
Sure.
Your flows are also tied to the number of people you can safely serve food to. So it's tied to that food end too.
Yeah, but I don't intend on doing any of that. Everything's coming in. I'm not gonna be there cooking steaks. I'm not that kind of guy.
I know that, but
I'm not gonna hire a chef to cook and serve. No, they're gonna
But your-
hire a
but
catering
your
company.
caterer can
They're gonna
safely
come in,
serve food too.
and they're gonna do it. I'm not gonna have anything to do with it.
I get that. But that's what
Okay.
it's also tied to.
Yep, all right. So, with that, in your packet, we have the application for 245 Whitman Street. Okay, that needs, did I, oh, that's a separate issue.
254.
That's Daisy Lane, Daisy Lane.
We have a
It's
couple.
254.
54 women, yep.
254, okay. So we have the system in place, and we have a letter from Collins Civil Engineering. So again, going by, I'm sure those were greater than 100 guests, okay, so that's,
And they
So
have-
if you-
They
but-
have them that go all the way up to 500 people.
Yeah.
in one
Correct.
trailer before you implement a second.
Yep, so in the packet, if you go down a little further, they were also kind enough to include a couple of examples of event trailers that they would look to hire. So that information that would be on the permit for temporarily exceeding capacity, that information would be used to calculate, and make sure that you guys get the right amount of trailers coming in and facilities and all that. And it's not just you. You just happen to be here tonight.
100%.
So,
I get it.
all right, so with all that, I will make the motion that we accept the application for the disposal system at 254 Whitman Street.
I'll second that.
Okay, that's motion Lyons. And second, Andrew. Any further discussions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye? Okay, that passes. All right. Can't wait to see what you do with the place.
Thank you very
Really,
much.
I mean, it's, every time I drive by, I kind of look to see how far you can see down the row a bit, so.
Yeah,
It's looking good out there, looks good. Okay, all right, Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now, we have,
One more thing, just when was that topic gonna be discussed, so I could be here next for that?
In 2 weeks on the 21st.
21st, yep.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we have another application, and it's for temporary mobile home on 243 Whitman Street. This is the house that was, unfortunately had a pretty bad fire there. So, it's, the septic is not up to standard, it failed Title V, but for what we can do right now is we can approve the hookup temporarily to the septic.
If you go into health agent update, it's number 6,
Okay.
under housing. Any temporary housing over 30 days requires Board of Health approval to housing code, checking potable water supply, trash, septic, those kind of things. On this one, we just received the Title V inspection on Friday, and it's failed. It's 1948, and they put the mobile home on top of the septic, so it was probably either Orangeburg piping and stone, just really shallow kind of system in the front yard. And they had a hose out the back for the washing machine. So, trying to address those two. Under code, they have 2 years to upgrade. So my suggestion is, you grant approval with the condition that any washer is tied into the tank. The regular septic, but also the clothes washer is tied into the tank. Because right now, it's kind of garden hosing out the backyard. Okay, and then just that the system is monitored and pumped as needed. Usually, other towns will grant a year for the permit, and then they can extend it, but you just want to make sure it's, the pipe didn't freeze, the septic's still into the tank, that kind of stuff, and have it pumped.
Okay, so that's all stated on here in the permit?
I don't know, I don't have a
Up to.
permit.
Okay, it says
but-
8.2, okay, inspector hookup to septic is.
I think I put the
1,000
section of the code,
plus-
yeah.
Say it, okay.
Is it all on there? Here, let me just check.
Okay, not to exceed 12 months, okay.
So that would be my suggestion.
Okay, so for 243 Whitman Street, I'll accept a motion that we approve the temporary,
245,
it says on the application, it says 243.
okay, 243 then.
Okay,
Too many buildings.
243 Whitman Street. That we accept the permit for temporary hookup to the mobile home to this, to the septic, right?
Yep,
This is still going to the septic.
existing septic.
Yep. Do I have a motion?
Will.
Okay, a motion, Andrew.
I'll second.
Okay, second Tom. Any further discussion? Any questions, guys, comments? Okay,
None for me.
all right. Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so that passes. Okay, now, try to get caught up on where we are here. We're jumping around. I don't see the,
Number 4, mobile trucks, catering, and
Yep.
food establishments.
okay. Okay. All right, mobile trucks, catering, and food establishments. Dunkin' Donuts, Jean-Marie, you want to address that?
Yeah, I went by Dunkin' Donuts a week ago and saw that they were closed for remodeling. According to food code, they're supposed to give prior notice and have plans approved by the Board of Health. This is the second time Dunkin's has done that. We had the same problem at 650 Plymouth Street, probably around Thanksgiving. So I sent a notice of noncompliance to them, said we need plans and an application fee for the board to approve at their next meeting. If not, you can't have a re-inspection to open. They got them in. So you have an abbreviated version of the plans there. It meets code. But I also needed to check because they share space with another food establishment, that they had the proper construction barriers up in place, so we don't have migration of smells, sawdust, debris floating around, since they share the same plenum. It's not a full wall. So that was okay. They're anticipating inspections on Friday to open on Saturday.
Yeah, what time are you going to be there on Friday?
They haven't called me, I'm guessing around 10. I said 10 to him because we close at noontime.
Okay.
So I wanted a little time to, I'm basically looking to see that it's, cleaned up, ready to open. It's been, everything has been cleaned and sanitized, basically.
Okay.
Okay. You see that reflected on the food inspections too, on the agent update.
Okay, so do we have a permit we need to approve?
Nope, the plans,
Just the plan?
kind of treat them like a septic plan,
Right.
just sign on the
So you
corner.
guys can take a look at the plan afterwards and see if you have any questions.
Full sets are coming in, but I said I was trying to scoot that one along, because the time frame is pretty close.
All right, so that's that. All right, so moving along, we have a betterment loan.
We already went through that, you approved it.
Oh, that was the,
The 782 Washington Street.
oh, gotcha, okay. Okay, that was approved. Okay, we have 2 installers, both renewals. Michael Lopez, Lopez Plumbing, and Andrew Dyer, Dyer Construction. Sandra, is everything all
Everything's in order.
completed? Okay. All right, I'll make a motion that we accept the installer license of the renewals as presented.
I will second the motion.
Okay, it's motion Lyons, second Tom. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We have renewal of a hauler's license, Premier Portable Potties, 35 Industrial Drive in East Bridgewater.
Everything's complete.
Everything's all complete. Okay, so I'll make a motion that we accept that as presented. Motion Lyons. Do I have a second?
I'll second
A
it.
second Andrew. Any further discussions? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so that passes. Okay, we have no body art partitioners. Camps are all set. What do we got here? Okay, so just to kind of wrap up in your packet, there's just some guidelines that Jean Marie and myself and Sandy had kind of talked about, but I need you guys to take a look. And when we get back together on the 21st, we can have a further discussion and edit whatever we want to edit, and then vote on whether or not we want to adopt a policy that that covers temporary event venues. Okay, again, Bob Buger's here from HPHEG. And this is kind of his handoff moment. So Jean Marie, welcome back. Glad that you're feeling better and everything was successful. So, welcome back. And again, Bob, can't thank you enough and your team for the level of service, the level of professionalism. It's a great group of folks you got over there. So, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Does anybody else have anything else? Anything at all?
Want to go through updates?
What's that?
Okay.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah, I thought we covered everything on there.
Some of
but-
them we did.
But go right ahead.
These are the things I've done and some of the things that the group did. Site assessments, those were performed by HPHEG. And we're starting next week, the big project on the Whitman line, the townhouses, the Celebrity project. We're doing the townhouses off of Winter Street on Tuesday and Wednesday. So we're starting that big project. Repairs, 105 Hillcrest Lane was submitted with no variances, and as the board policy, I approved it. The other variance requests are reflected on your agenda. New construction we went over. We got a couple under construction, 38 Park Avenue, 818 Crescent Street, and new construction, we're still doing 211 Highland Street, which is the warehouse right off of Highland Street. Food inspections, these are the ones I found that were done June and July, okay? And that kind of goes through the list. A lot of them need re-inspections, and we're in the process of doing that now. By we, I mean both I and ALSCO. You expect, I'm only a year into this for the inspections. Before they were done by consultants. So we're starting to develop our food protection program. Some restaurants need to be inspected every 90 days. They're bigger. They service a high-risk population or any one of those factors. Others every 6 months. And some, maybe, especially the convenience stores that don't do food prep, might be once a year. So we're kind of developing that list for you guys. New mobile food truck coming to the Y on Saturday. Housing, 165 Bridge Street and 1357 Washington Street cases have been closed. One of those I have been on for 5 years. So I'm glad to see that one no longer in existence. Temporary mobile home you did, and there are a couple of trash and septic complaints, and I'm in the process of taking care of those. So that's kind of it for me right now. Any questions?
Hold on.
Okay, in my packet, I have an application for Plymouth Party.
Mm-hmm, that's what
The
Jean Marie just
food
mentioned.
one that's gonna be at the Y on Saturday.
Okay,
They were inspected by Kayla Smith when they were in Middleborough, so I kind of accept that inspection.
okay, and then we have Bloomquist. Is that one that we approved?
You approved all of those.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right, I just don't see Bloomquist in here.
Bloomquist is a Title V inspector. Oh, he
Yeah.
just came in. Did you, yeah, we don't have any Title V inspectors listed on here. He just came in today, didn't
Okay,
Yeah, did you get my copy?
all right, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Yes, motion Andrew,
Second.
second Tom. Further discussions? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That concludes our meeting for August 7th, 2023. Our next meeting will be on August 21st.